Hi, Michael Brownlee here, co-founder of the Monastery in Boulder, Colorado. Recent events around the world have only confirmed the increasing scale and urgency of our planetary predicament, leaving us all to consider how we might need to be preparing for the radical changes that we now know are inevitable. The recent slaughter at a grocery store here in Boulder brought this home to us in a very poignant way. This is certainly a time of unprecedented crisis, but it is also a time when many of us find ourselves called at a deeper level than we've ever experienced before, as if we have some greater purpose to fulfill than we've allowed ourselves to consider. The monastery exists for people who are experiencing this deeper calling and are struggling to respond. In this video, I want to take a few minutes to let you know what's emerging from the monastery that could be of considerable value to you at this time. First of all, you may have already seen that earlier this year we finally launched the Deep Revolution Podcast Series, now a regular weekly program where I join other co-founders of the monastery, Kevin Keilbach and Cole Porto, to candidly explore some of the issues we're grappling with in responding to the greatest challenge and opportunity in human history, all from an evolutionary perspective. Beginning this podcast series has been very meaningful for us, and the response from our viewers has been encouraging. We'd be delighted if you'd join us in our exploration there together. It's becoming a very intriguing community conversation. We call it the Deep Revolution Podcast, but it's really a very candid conversation between a few of us who are struggling to come to terms with the enormous issues of our time, humanity's evolutionary turning point. Just a few titles of recent episodes: Losing Our Humanity or Becoming Human, Uncovering the Story of Human Evolution, The New Human Story, Morality and Initiation, Existential Risk and the New Humankind. None of us have ever done a podcast before, so it's rather rough and primitive and spontaneous and very honest. And we'd be honored to have you join in the conversation. Just go to our Deep Revolution YouTube channel, and you'll find all our podcast episodes there with a new episode every week. Over the next few months, you'll notice that we're beginning to speak a little differently about the monastery than we did when we began opening our doors. In April, we'll announce the arrival of the Monastery Academy for Conscious Evolution and Co-Creation. It's taken us a while to recognize that we're fundamentally becoming a school. But as Joe Brewer, founder of Earth Regenerators, says, it is now too late to avoid collapse. Those of us who think like designers must now create schools to navigate the turbulent decades between death and renewal that will define the rest of this century. That's very apt and an almost prophetic description of our own vision. We're not an educational institution per se, but perhaps somewhat analogous to a mystery school. Our primary purpose is to provide education, training, and support for emerging evolutionary catalysts, those who are preparing to take their place on the front lines of the deep revolution, a profound shift to the next stage of humanity's evolution. As a result, you'll see a lot more content coming from the Monastery Academy. For instance, we're in the process of publishing the Deep Revolution Trilogy of books. The first book in the series is Facing Extinction, Navigating the Greatest Challenge in Human History, which is available for a limited time as a free ebook. This is written for those who feel called to a greater level of service in this time of civilization's collapse and mass extinction of species. And it also functions as an introduction to the perspective that we're exploring here at the Monastery Academy. The second book of the trilogy is called Out of the Ashes: How the Deep Revolution Will Usher in the Next Stage of Human Evolution, which will be available in April. We consider this book to be an accelerated introduction to the path of the evolutionary catalyst. The final book of the trilogy is Navigating the Anthropocene: From Planetary Emergency to Evolutionary Emergence. This book is a bit more advanced, written as a guide for the evolutionary bodhisattva. The trilogy will soon be widely available, including on Amazon, but we invite you to start with Facing Extinction now and consider sharing that free ebook with others. It's a powerful conversation starter. The monastery's contribution to public consideration of humanity's predicament and potential destiny will begin in early April with a 3-part Masterclass Series entitled The Deep Revolution Towards a New Future for Humanity, which we are making available at no charge. Part 1 of the Masterclass will be Emergence of the New Humankind, which will be presented live on April 5th on Zoom with ample time for questions and discussion. A premise of the Monastery Academy is that unexpectedly arising out of this disastrous situation, and hardly noticeable at first, is nothing less than the next stage of the evolution of life and consciousness in the universe, and that it will take root here on this very earth that we have come to love and call our home. This is what we call the Deep Revolution, a new form of humanity arising from the ashes of a dying civilization and a dying biosphere. Part 2 of the Masterclass on April 11 will be Evolutionary Course Correction, which will explore how the myth of perpetual progress has masked the reality that human evolution has been essentially frozen for the last 10,000 years, and how only a radical infusion of the sacred and the spiritual can reverse that detour and return humanity to a more viable direction. Part 3 of the Masterclass on April 18 will be Human Destiny: The Advent of Conscious Evolution. Here we'll explore the potential for humanity, or its successor, to become a conscious agent of the force of evolution, co-creating with nature and with the sacred to initiate a quantum evolutionary breakthrough in the universe beginning on planet Earth. And we'll also look at the role of the evolutionary bodhisattva, who is making a very long-term commitment to integrating spirit into the realm of material existence. Altogether, the Masterclass is an introduction to the curriculum of our one-year educational program called the Fellowship, which we've been developing over the last few years and is now ready to accept a small new cohort of participants for a course of study beginning in May. This is an intense program of study and training and group process designed for those who are considering fulfilling a leadership role on the front lines of the Deep Revolution, carving out the pathways for humanity to not only survive the Anthropocene catastrophe, but to rise to a whole new level of evolution, which Thomas Berry calls the Ecozoic epoch, a time of healing, restoration, and regeneration. As you can see, the Monastery Academy has a lot in the pipeline, and we encourage you to keep in touch by subscribing to our Deep Revolution YouTube channel, where we'll be releasing an increasing flow of content. In the meantime, we invite you to join us for the Deep Revolution Masterclass starting on April 5th. If you can't join the live sessions with us, video replays and transcripts will be available for those who have registered, but it would be great to have you there in person. We look forward to meeting you and exploring together the next stage of human evolution. Blessings.